Dare to be Seen, Episode 3. Today we have a beautiful and very special guest. And before she joins us live, I want to share with you a little bit more of what this interview series is and where it's coming from. This is an interview series bringing soul-led, mission-led women who are leading global communities and brands as a result of leading with their authenticity and allowing themselves to enter and to be all that they came here to be by entering into their divine visibility expression. Here at Mission Soul, when we talk about visibility, of course we talk about divine visibility, because you, beautiful one, you hold the light that allows more light and love and abundance enter and reactivate in this planet. Every time you work with clients, they remember more of who they came here to be. They step more into their authentic expression. And so because you are a channel of Source, the universe, Sophia, Gaia, Sophia God, however you want to call it, because you are a channel of the divine, your visibility matters even more. And every time a woman with a big mission allows herself to be all that she came here to be and amplify herself even more unapologetically, she sends this beautiful unconscious signal that other humans start picking up on. And it's almost like when they see you, they wonder, maybe just like she can show up in her authentic expression, I can also do the same and be more of who I truly am, of my soul embodied. And we need so much more of these codes in humanity. And so the highest intention of Dare to be Seen is to bring women who have gone through the journey and found themselves like experiencing blocks or ancestral trauma or imprints within their cosmic and human DNA that bring all of these emotions that are disproportionate to what is truly happening. It's just you're about to post on social media, or it's just you're about to post your prices on a public post, or it's just like you're about to claim yourself at an even greater level, but you're fine, you're okay. But where all of this comes from? By featuring these incredible women, it is my intention and Mission Soul's intention that you really get different pieces of the puzzle. You start seeing like the many ways in which these programs manifest and come up. You listen about different tools that potentially they use and gain from their wisdom. Humanity will be a very different place if all of us shared just a little bit more about our wisdom, the wisdom that comes from being uncomfortable, what helps us. And so because we are a very signature collective of multidimensional beings who chose to incarnate during the greatest time of awakening to support Mother Gaia's ascension, these conversations are so valuable. If you're loving these conversations, know this is episode 3. There are 2 other episodes that you can tap into. We have an incredible number and many, I was going to say, of women lined up. We have an incredible lineup of beautiful women and soul-led leaders that are going to be coming and taking the stage to share these codes with you. And if you love this work, follow this page, follow the women that we're interviewing. Reach out, let me know in the inbox what has landed for you, and also share them with someone that you love, that is maybe another mission sister that would love to gain access to this wisdom as well. before I welcome my incredible guest for today, I want to say that this interview series is brought to you with so much love from the Temple of Born to Be Seen, which is a 3-day advanced quantum healing and soul mission oracular experience to help you collapse ancestral timelines and step into even greater levels of visibility with your channel work. More information is in the bio. You can also send me a DM. In the highlights, you'll find something as well. And I'm very happy and excited to bring up our beautiful guest, Ariel. Hey. All right. She's coming. She's coming.
Hello,
Ariel. Yay! Here you are, beautiful. How are
I
you?
am
Oh,
great. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very
Thank you for
happy.
inviting.
And yes, and last time, guys, last time Ariel and I saw each other, well, it was a very first human encounter. So
Mm,
that was so beautiful. But it was also in
yeah.
Egypt. And I want to say, before we even start, that Ariel holds beautiful and magical keys to experience Egypt in a very profound and I'm gonna say also intimate and exclusive way. So she's about to tell us what she does, but make sure that, you know, if you've ever felt called to visit Egypt or maybe being in sacred sites alone and, you know, with your beautiful spiritual group, she's your girl. Make sure to find her, follow her, and reach out to her.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank
my
you.
love. Well, um,
Mm,
as we start, I would really love to ask you to tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and who your work is for.
great. Thank you. This is actually a question that I find it very hard to answer. I guess like we are so multidimensional, right? And I find myself always have been like transitioning. You know, these few years have been like learning different things, applying different things, transitioning. And in terms of my soul mission here is really to be angelic presence. To it's more of my presence rather than very specifically what I do, because what I do constantly change and constantly evolve as I evolve. And as a mission soul, mission soul, we all come here to embody the high dimensional template of the future human. So actually these few years, most of my work is actually around my own inner work to embody that future human template so that I can serve from this higher octave of being. And then in terms of what the 3D things that I do has been evolving. And like before, I had a corporate background, and I also I taught yoga and wellness. So from corporate, shift to yoga and wellness, and then shift to now is multidimensional embodiment. So ultimately is to guiding others to embody the multidimensional expression. And that first piece right now is actually anchored that really fully and deeply into uh, my own living experience first. And yeah, so but the great thing about nowadays with the age of Aquarius and the social media, it's really allowed that fluidity of how we actually express and be seen. We are so open, and as long as we give ourselves the permission, right, we say yes to that, showcase us up and okay, I am this and I'm that, I can be this and I can be that, and if I am shifting, that's part of my journey. So instead of like fixating about, oh, this is me, this is what I do, I am a quantum coach, or I am this and that, like I am depending on what my function is that day. And lately what I was being called a lot is to especially when we were in Egypt, right? Like in March, like that Egypt trip really unlocked a lot of the portal and key keepers codex for me. It's like, okay, Gaia is saying that like now it's time for you. You have done so much. You have gone through a lot of the pilgrimages, spiritual travels on your own, like on my own. And so now it's time to help like guide people go through those journeys and portals, those initiations through travel. So ultimately right now, like my branding, it might change, but now my branding constantly shifting. Right now the branding is really about the three pillars is the spiritual travel, because I love travel and I love like going on pilgrimages. Now it's like, okay, I want to bring my friends and my soul tribe with me to experience those magical things that like you have to really physically plug into those energetic grid. And also guiding people to using the system called, if I can call it like that, a system is a living transmission, the gene keys, which is ultimately is alchemy of consciousness, guiding people to unlock and understand their own, the algorithm of their own incarnation through understanding their own gene keys and unlock that from within the DNA. Yeah, and alchemy. So I'm an alchemist. So whatever I do is just part of those two alchemical toolbox that help me to embody my multidimensional higher self in the physical earth right now.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And thank you so much for sharing and being vulnerable. Yes, because, like we are in a space where, I mean, and this actually comes as such a huge block for so many women in the online space, and also as they enter into owning their expression unapologetically, because it's almost like, okay, so how do I call myself? Who should I be? And it's like, and God forbids if they get like let's call it like or let's call it a more traditional like business mentor, then they are also going to try to put all of that magic into a box. And then it's like, okay, so we are here for the liberation of humanity, and then here we are like getting ourselves into boxes. So I really love that as you step into the stage and share with us who you are, it's like, I'm freaking Ariel
Yes,
Tang. I am traveling, or I have
this moment
so
of
many
dragon.
of these keys, and I am permission herself. Beautiful.
Yeah,
I love.
thank
Well,
you.
and this you know what's really coming through is like, there is so much, there is visibility, there is being seen, but there is just so much of permission in being seen. So for the multidimensional woman who also is a shapeshifter, what could you share with us in terms of permission to evolve, to alchemize, and allow yourselves to show up when you are
Yeah, yeah,
evolving, shifting?
yeah. Definitely. This is the beautiful question because it's something that I think like all of us at different stage in our life on earth, whether you have a business or not, like maybe it's just, I think it's part of the journey as being human that we chose to go through those initiation of giving permission. Ultimately, the permission is just like us giving ourselves. I felt it's all inner work as we accept. So for me, a big part of the work is to accept me as exactly who I am. Like accept as okay, like right now it's like I don't really have like a business in a traditional sense. I am in transition, accepting my curiosity that I want to try different things, accept the 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 idea that like I don't really have a label. Like I can be a dragon today or a phoenix tomorrow or a unicorn the next day. And the permission really comes from internally, like us accepting all parts of us. Yeah. I hope that
Yeah.
answers the question.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. And there's also this element of you're a very cherished woman within your community. You have you move people. You have a great group of sisters who see you, see your journey, trust in you, and also feel really connected to you. So what has been that journey of also allowing yourself to be fluid as you also are in this vortex of supporting other sisters in their own missions, in their own journeys through maybe different, you know, missions that you've initiated in the past, but it's like you're evolving in front of your community. So if you could share with us a little bit about what that has been and maybe some of the wisdom that has come as a result of being in this dynamic.
Oh, wow. I think a big part for me, I'm not saying that's the only way, that is really understanding myself, understanding what are my energetic makeup, that like how me to navigate, like when I'm like say for example, I love working with gene keys and human design because those are very like very practical ways to understand the algorithm of my incarnation, or like understanding that okay, where might be my tendency of shadows, because in Jinkies, we talk a lot about like how we transform shadows into gifts, and everyone's might have different particular type of shadows. So by understanding myself more than I can, and understanding my shadows and understanding my gift, then when I'm working with others and also understanding how others might be going through their shadows as well. So it's given me a lot of understanding that oh, we are all so different. We all are here as fractals to support each other. Ultimately, I think I am, because I felt like my everyone's journey is different. Even though there must be something that we can all relate to, is the having very supportive community. But we can only find our tribe in that sense by first we be ourselves. If we don't know ourselves, we cannot truly be ourselves, right? If we try to fit in and compromise our values, compromise uh, our beliefs, our goals, our visions, then we will just naturally draw in the wrong crowd. Wrong, like I would say wrong, like this is just different. Just like they show us different things. Right? And when we work with ourselves, when we understand our energetic makeup, where our particular shadows and our gifts, how we tend to the dynamics that we might go through with others, then naturally when we live our own life or we be ourselves, then we just gravitate. It's just synchronicity that we find our tribe, like my beautiful sister and brothers here. Yeah.
Amazing.
So
I
yeah.
love that. I love that, and that really is a good segue for the next question because we're talking about people can only like it's like people can only meet you at the depths that you're able to meet yourself. Also, like you will emit like your most authentic frequency and send the most authentic signals to the outside when you take the journey of really seeing yourself, of really knowing yourself and accepting also who you are, like and where you are, all these things. And ultimately, this is like one of the beautiful gifts and what we and it's like the holy grail of having a mission brand, having a global community with your soul mission is to be met by other individuals that are in the same vibrational frequency. And however, what often happens is that, and what this is something I've seen with many clients and also sisters, you know, along the years, is that over the years, when it comes to being your authentic expression, shit starts to like come up, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, nervous system, I actually want to flight, I actually want to freeze, I actually want to phone. And a lot of these disproportionate feelings many times come from experiences from other lifetimes. And what we have experienced, like potential ancestral trauma, all of this. And so my question to you would be, if you recall a moment, an experience, a moment, a story, where on the journey of claiming more of you and meeting more of yourself, maybe there was like this friction or this energy within you, and you're coming from your own body, that you could easily perceive, that you had to work on, basically, and do deep inner work to let go. And so if there's anything like that, then potentially what it was, and if you can share that story with us.
So many. we like we are all, most of us are like genetic liberators, right? We are here that like taking the role, being that like in our lineage to maybe take on a lot of templates as a way to transcend and transmute for our lineage and our collective. So, and I have been like I love working with the councils of light, so I've been working councils of light a lot, and through a lot of activations, they help me to work out my own maze, you know, like my mental construct and all that. And other than that, I also my own learning about the gene keys, contemplating on the gene keys. In one of the gene keys, one particular position is about our ancestral wounds, our deep core wounds that we inherit like at the time of conception. And going deep into that wounds for myself is very, very empowering, because I could see exactly how, especially one pattern that is, I don't know, like some people might understand, like may know the lines we talk about in human design and gene keys. There are different lines in archetypal energy. For my line 4, this ancestral wounds is that I tend to reject people before I got rejected. That is like once that click, it was like, and then I start to see, of course, like at first when that look into your face, like, oh, line 4, the wounding is usually okay. I've been reject people before, you know, getting rejected because of the fear of rejection.
Yeah.
It is very, very deep. This is this is a particular ancestral wound, archetypal wound that I inherit. But that also is where it shows insight about our highest calling, what we are literally come here to serve, to transform that fear of rejection and still show up, step into my higher calling. And I found that like, yes, like I would see that like for a lot of times, like even before I am doing what I'm doing right now, when I look back when I was teaching yoga, for example, I could see myself sabotaging myself, my higher calling as a guy, as a yoga teacher. I would sabotage I would reject people. I literally reject offer. Like say people want to work with me, who will try to like, you know, invite me to teach that. Ultimately, I felt like I am not enough. Like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not this and not that, or then not whatever enough. Like fill in the blank. That I have this fear that okay, instead of like taking this job and then get rejected by people saying that people comment on me or like, you know, I disappoint people, I will usually just say no to the job. And yeah, so that is, yeah, I think probably a lot of people have those experiences. And in these patterns is, I think the mastery is coming into how small that particular signature we can spot. Like when we're beginning, the signature might be like that pattern might be, oh, very big one, then you can spot it. But then the mastery is coming like just a little hint. Maybe it's just the way you talk to people. Is that energy being trigger? Yeah. And I find that in relationship as well, the same relation, like same pattern as in I reject people before I get rejected, show up a lot.
Wow.
Before.
That is so big. And I agree. I agree that you know, it's a safety mechanism. Like if you see it like more from that like a structure, it's like, you know, because then it's like exactly, it's like before I do the thing or before I put myself in a vulnerable position, then let me take control of the situation by screw it anyway.
By saying no, just say
Yeah,
no.
or
Like,
even
okay.
yeah, exactly. Like saying no, and so like this is what's so beautiful, and thank you for bringing this one up because it's so interesting. Because throughout this whole series of conversation, every single woman is bringing something different, and it's like yeah, this one is also massive because, as you said, like okay, maybe there was a time when you used to say, "I'm sabotaging myself." Or maybe your own circle could see something, or you would share your story, and it's like, oh, you're sabotaging yourself. And it's like this wisdom of seeing, wow, actually, there is something here of conditioning, the architecture of this incarnation, the mechanics, things that are like within my own makeup, which I love that you also said it's empowering, right? Because this is not about, oh my God, doomsday. This is like, oh, I'm cursed, and this is what's gonna be my whole life. And this is truly like the message behind this series is like there's nothing that can condition you when you dare to go deeper within yourself. And then what happens is just as you say it, as you said it, is refinement. It's like you start seeing the sneaky, more
Yes.
sophisticated ways in which this shows up. But as a result of you having the awareness, acquiring toolkits, getting guidance, you even mentioned multidimensional guidance from working with trans-channelers and councils of light, then it's like, oh, you're building the muscle of catching yourself earlier, and then like being able to move through it even faster. Thank you about that. And well, and as we are reaching the end of the episode, which by the way I've loved, every single one is
Oh,
so
it's
good.
like, oh, it's, yeah.
I love having you here. um, what would you say has been the greatest gift of daring to see yourself deeper and deeper and deeper and own who you are and where you are for the purpose of showing up authentically?
Hmm. I don't know if it makes sense, but the only like that words I want to say is like, there's no other way. That's the only way.
I
Whatever
love
that
that.
means. So,
Yeah.
like open for interpretation.
No, like that's so perfect because I mean I can. It's like exactly. It's like well, are we
What else
gonna
to do?
quit? Is there truly any other way? I love this, and of course, like I rescue something that you said at the beginning, which is like because there's also every time you work on you, you are contributing to the field, the morphogenetic field of the souls who are connected in the same bandwidth. So I feel like there's also like this aspect of the deep grit work, of the deep contribution, that not every single time for the mission entrepreneur is gonna look like, and then I made $1 million in a minute. But it's more like, and then I went there and I allow myself to go into the nitty gritty and I dissolve this pattern. And I did it for myself and I did it for my sisters and for those who are on the journey with me and the ones who will come and for Gaia. And so I'm also getting some of that too.
Mm,
Beautiful, my love. Well,
so
thank you
much.
so
So
much
much fun.
for coming today. And if people wanted to come and receive from some of the tools that you have, or learn more about these incredible Egypt adventures that you're curating, well, what would be the best way for them to get in contact with you?
Since you're all Instagram, you can just Instagram me. Yeah, DM me, message me. Yeah, actually, I am going to Egypt again this Sunday
Wow.
to prepare, yeah, to prepare the greed and also like just I'm I might be a control freak, but I want to like like just like making picking the right boat for us. Like we're doing a lot of magical things. So a lot of that yeah, we're going to Egypt for receiving more guidance from the land, from the grid, from the different gods and goddesses, our ascension team there, and also doing some great work, prepare the grid. So yeah, and so if anyone wants to learn more about like the Egypt trips or other like I'm also exploring other like creating different spiritual journeys, pilgrimages, or understand the gene keys, the algorithm of your incarnation and the alchemy of consciousness. I'm your girl.
Yes.
Come join me. Yeah, just like my Instagram. My message is always open. My
Amazing.
mailbox. Thank
Well,
you
thank
so
you
much.
so
Thanks so much for your work. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you for being here today and for your wisdom. And I look forward to keep seeing you in everywhere in the
Yeah.
planet and online. Take care and see you next time.
Thank
Bye bye.
you. Bye.